Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome back to Monster Hunter Wilds. So, when I did my last insect glaive build, I promised you that I was going to start on some builds for my other weapons, and that's what I promised. That's what I'm going to deliver with my first longsword build for Monster Hunter Wilds. Crafted out of necessity because of an event quest, which we'll talk about. But before we talk about any of that, let's actually see what we're looking at, yeah? So, for my longsword build, I have decided to go with Arkveld. We are using two pieces of the Guardian Arkveld, the helmet and the gloves, and two pieces of the normal Arkveld, the chest and the coil, with the Ajarakan greaves. And for our decoration, we are using the Chain Charm, level 2, that's our 2 levels of burst, you can see. Our decorations, we are finishing off Weakness Exploit, and then we are going to be going into Recovery Up and Recovery Speed, because this is a health regen build. And then we kind of had, and then more point of Flare, because 2 points seems to be about right for what you need to be effective with that skill. But then we had a bunch of extra slots that we could kind of do whatever with. So, for me, I have decided to go with Speed Eating. You could also go with Stun Resistance, or Divine Blessing, in my opinion, just depending on your preferences. And then our longsword, if we check this out, you can see it's not the greatest longsword that I have ever had, but it's what we have to work with right now, with a 3 attack boost up and then an element sharpness boost. And I guess the sharpness isn't that bad, because boy do you spam through attacks with this. So that was designed out of pseudo-necessity, but before we head out to actually check that out, we also want to talk about the meal that goes with this build. We're going to choose meat, and then for our additional ingredient, we're going to be choosing the fluffy egg that activates a temporary attack boost at random intervals. And for our finishing touch, Eastern Honey increases the amount of health recovered when healing. So that is what we usually pair this longsword build with. On which thought we are going to go out there, and I will actually show you what this build looks like once it's underway. So I'm very silly, and I neglected to save any regular or solo tempered Arkveld or tempered gore, so I pray you forgive me for that, as we hunt just a normal Arkveld, because I have been really focused on gathering up the gems to get ready for Title Update 1 here. That's only just a couple of days away now. So, with due apologies for my negligence to save anything that is particularly good for a build guide, I will need to keep an eye out from now on. We shall just visit a normal Arkveld, yes? One of the main detractors of this build is the fact that I don't have a maid window, so expect me to make mistakes. I was convinced I was on the outside of that. So this is actually quite fortunate. Although we might have to dung pot her. Yeah, she's gonna go. Okay. You don't see me? Really? So we're taking advantage of Burst and Flare, principally, and then we have the double attack duel on the sword, and we have full weakness exploit and Heartbreaker. That we're taking advantage of for our damage. Oh, she's dumb. Okay. We'll let her go so we can carve. But actually, how are you not in this trap, Arkveld? There we go. So there you have it, lords and ladies. My first longsword build of Monster Hunter Wilds, born out of necessity to farm the Kangalala event quest this week for ingredients for us. As you can see, it boasts a pretty decent amount of damage, and I did not mention we're using the Corrupted Mantle for this build. The meal that we're eating with it is meat, the fluffy eggs, and Eastern honey to get the maximum amount of health regen from our Arkveld armor sets. And we are buffing with armor skin and demon drug as we can. Obviously a little bit overkill for a normal Arkveld, but I wanted to demonstrate the full process of what we're doing to make this longsword build work. So that is my quick and easy guide for a decent-ish longsword build that you can use for farming things pretty decently quickly as we get ready for Title Update 1, and I hope that you have enjoyed watching. If you did, please feel free to like this video. Let me know if you have tips to improve the longsword build. Like, longsword is my alternate weapon, so definitely if you have tips, feel free to share them down below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.